Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Liberty's Bulwark, a Blades and Blasters Pathfinder 2E campaign. I'm your humble dungeon master, game master, prankster, and with me tonight I have our wonderful regular cadre of players. And so just so you can key off of their voices, I'm going to allow each of them to introduce themselves and their character. Sim? Sam?
Hey! So, I play Madden. I'm Sim. Madden's half orc, half human. Fun times.
Thank you, my friend. And Mr. Bees.
Hey, Bees here. I am playing Milo Epley, the righteous young cleric of Sarenrae.
Next up we have the sexy wanderer.
Man, I really like your NPR voice.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Wanderer, and I am playing Corovel, who is a half sea elf druid.
And finally, last but not least, we have the wonderful Cypher.
Hey, this is Zypher. I play Rigzin, full human, sad times.
It's a good synopsis.
Sad times.
Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Maybe I'll just use his voice the whole time.
I really hope you don't.
Okay, I'll start. Milo reeled from their defeat at the hands of the Hellknights. While one was killed, the other escaped with the captured citizen and Sabriel in tow. Unfortunately, the lighthouse was still on fire and the keeper was still trapped inside. Milo ran into the lighthouse through the smoke and flame, fumbling until he found Reynold, the lighthouse keep in the corner of the kitchen. Summoning all of his strength, Milo began to stumble towards the entrance, dragging Reynold in tow. Unfortunately, the smoke began to set in, giving him coughing fits and burning his lungs. Things started to get hazy as Milo passed out right at the cusp of the exit of the house. Luckily, a druid named Corovel, in league with the Bellflower Network, came to check on Reynold. He saw the house in a blaze, and Reynold and Milo passed out at the threshold. He dragged them to safety and woke them up. Shortly after, Rigzin and Madden awoke as well to the new reality before them. Unfortunately, Reynold was still unconscious. Corovel and Milo set to helping the poor man regain consciousness as Rigzin and Madden reeled from the news of Sabriel's enslavement and departure. They debated on next steps, but Rigzin was quiet in the midst of all of it. Something was wrong, with a dour tone overtaking him. The march back to Acisazi was uneventful. That led them to the tavern where Rigzin and Madden proceeded to drink. There was tension that emanated from Rigzin, that Milo addressed only to be rebuffed before returning to bed. Hours went by before Rigzin passed out at the table with stein in hand, before awakening a few hours later with a start. Corovel checked on him, but Rigzin marched from the tavern to the beach below and away from the town. And there on the sands, Rigzin broke his sword and renounced his oath before returning to rest and enter a new day. And with that said, we will pick it up almost from where we left off. The dawn breaks over the ocean next to Cantargo. We can see a young Milo waking up in his bed, going about the regular ritual one does when they wake up. rubbing his eyes, putting off of his covers, stretching out his arms before making his way downstairs into the tailor shop his mother and him own. You could see him maybe drinking a cup of tea to start the day, checking on different orders that they have. The tailor shop this time looks different, though. Instead of the bright colors and pastels and regular dress wear that accompanied the people of Cantargo, instead, we have the colors of House Thrune. Black shirts, brown trousers. Not many bright colors, aside from a small section that is reserved for the nobility who have the permits to allow for such clothing. Blazoned on much of the clothing, symbols of House Thrune, to remind the citizens of Cantargo just who is indeed in charge. Perhaps Milo takes a small, deep breath before getting back to his duties for the day, and in time the sun comes up over Cantargo, lighting the whole city. While House Thrune is in charge, and it is clear that the tone of the people is much more depressed, it is still a very much alive city. People going to and fro throughout their days. In fact, perhaps we see a couple of hours in fast forward motion with Milo taking care of customers, arranging clothing, folding clothing, putting it up, going about the humdrum duties of his day. Around 2:00 p.m., when the sun is at its brightest, or one of its brightest times of the day at least, Milo is standing behind the counter to his shop, to his and his mother's shop, when in the middle of it, an envelope, a letter envelope, large enough to hold some type of parchment, is slipped underneath the door, and it comes to Milo's attention. What does Milo do?
I imagine Milo is in the middle of folding up like a fine vestment with the pentagram of this Asmodeus. That his shop is required to make these and no others. When he looks up and sees this, and strange, he wasn't expecting a delivery, especially something slipped under the door like that. So he would drop respectfully, place the thing down on the counter and smooth it out to make sure it's not wrinkled, and walk to the door and investigate what's in the envelope.
Yeah, as Milo reaches down and opens up the envelope in front of him, there is a small note that just reads, "We'll need these pyramids for the ceremony. Please have them in blue and gold, with gold trim. And in the additional attachment is a template of the symbol we would like for you to weave into them, to sew into them." As Milo presumably goes to the second piece of paper, it is a symbol of Sarenrae, which is outlawed in the city, set before him.
Yeah, I feel like immediately he's when he hears blue and gold, he thinks of the holy symbols he grew up with, and that are no longer permitted in town. But he would, I imagine Milo holding up the paper and looking at it, and kind of disbelief with the sunlight coming through the window of the shop. This, and his heart racing out of his chest, folding it up quickly and stuffing it back into the envelope, and going back to the to the front desk and hiding it somewhere, because this is contraband. This is not okay.
An hour passes.
Yeah.
With maybe the anxiety in your chest and the anxiousness. You know that you're expecting your mother back any moment now, and sure enough, within an hour, she arrives. You can see her wearing the normal black clothing that is worn by a lot of the citizens, forced upon many of the citizens. She probably takes maybe kind of like a small veil that is over her face, kind of like brings it back. You can kind of see her take a breath, almost letting her guard down. Milo, you wouldn't believe how busy the market was today. Seems like everybody was going for the last apple.
Milo doesn't even respond to what she says. He says, "Mother, something came in the mail today. It was slipped under the door." He would go over and lock the door to make sure nobody could see it. Mother, rushing back over to the desk and pull out where he had stashed it between a bunch of cloth. He says, "Mother, what is this? This was sent to us. What ceremony? Do you know who this is from?"
As you look at your mother and begin peppering her with these questions, she looks at you in the eye, and you can see that the entire complexion of her face has changed. Beforehand, it was somewhat jovial, trying to find some type of joy, and she grows deathly serious in that moment, looking you in the eye. Have you told anyone about this?
No, of course not. I hid it and I waited for you. What do we do?
Good.
It's just. Should I burn it?
Good.
What?
No, you shan't burn it. Why would you do such a thing, child?
Because it's forbidden.
Son. She puts her hand on your chest in a very loving way. Just because something is forbidden doesn't mean you stop. There are things in this life that are important that we cannot just let go of. Is that what you would like to do? Is let go of Sarenrae?
No, I don't mean that. I wouldn't let go of. No. I just mean that. You know the laws. We can't be caught with this.
Her hands slide down from your shoulders, across your biceps, your forearms, until she is holding both of your hands in hers, and she just catches your eye and looks at it emphatically. Son.
Yes, Mother.
This rule is awful. This oppression, this lack of color, she motions to the rest of the tailor shop. This, whether it be slavery or whether it be the harsh rule, we cannot just sit by. We cannot just sit down and give up. Do you remember the lessons the church taught you?
I remember. I remember some of them.
Son. She takes a big deep breath. The dawn brings new light. We have to believe that. That even in the midst of this darkness, we have to remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. And Sarenrae will deliver us. Then she takes a loving hand, bringing it up to your face, kind of like stroking your cheek, continually looking at you dead in the eye. we give this up, House Thrune, Cheliax, has won their final victory as they broke our will and broke our spirit and caused us to be people who we are not. We cannot give up in the face of adversity, son. Do you hear me?
Yes, Mother, I hear you. The dawn brings new light.
The dawn brings new light. And you could see the seriousness perhaps crack away for a moment as she, at the very corners of her edges, does her best to smile. Now, this is our small part to play in not letting go. We will have these paraments, we will have these vestments ready so that her work, the work of Sarenrae, in bringing light to the darkness, may prevail.
I think Milo just begins to smile, his eyes watering, just looking at his mother. Yes.
I imagine that this is a memory that has turned into a dream as we see Milo's eyes wake up in his bed in Acisazi with the rain pouring down. The sounds of the tavern beginning to come about and wake up during the day. Party, how would you like to proceed?
Corovel, being pretty new to the party, is kind of sitting back. He's let Rigzin have a table to himself. I guess Rigzin's still outside, actually, isn't he? So he's still on the beach. So Corovel will actually be standing still in the just outside the inn, watching him. So he's gonna stay there for a little bit and see what happens. But he's not going to approach Rigzin because Rigzin needs some time alone.
Yeah.
Forgive me, it's been a while since our last session. Did anyone witness Rigzin renouncing his call or
Corovel did from a distance.
Corovel?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Milo's oblivious to that. He went to bed thinking, "Oh, he'll sleep it off."
Yeah.
I imagine that's what probably what Rigzin is doing is sleeping in.
Yeah, probably.
After drinking his brains out.
Yeah, Rigzin would be sleeping in for sure.
Oh gosh, yeah. Milo's always up before dawn, doing his prayers, and I kind of like the image of his vestments kind of matching the pattern that his mother had. That he has these really fine gold linens now. He takes such pride in them. Gets dressed in his vestments and does his praying, and he prays vigorously for Rigzin, for Reynold, and gives thanks for the safety of Madden, and for our new friend Corovel, and definitely thinks about Sabriel and prays for his safety wherever he is with the Hellknights. And he prays for his spells. He's got those too.
How about the rest of you? You're waking up for the day. Is there anything? I presume Madden would be next, with Rigzin up so late. Is Madden doing anything in particular?
Madden woke up quite early, and he went and got himself a full meal breakfast. And he sat at that table and ate it and kind of, seeing people come to and fro. But he woke up after, of course, all this stuff happened with Rigzin, so he has no idea Rigzin was up or anything. And he just awaits, planning his next move.
Okay. Rigzin is the last one to awaken then. How's that look?
Rigzin, he's kind of like sprawled on his bed, face down, face first. Through the window, as the sun starts streaming in, it hits his face, the warm light and the smell of the ocean, the salty breeze. He kind of stirs and tries to get up, immediately reels a bit and falls back face first. He clutches his head, realizing the amount of drinking he had done. He holds his forehead and starts massaging it. Eventually does a push-up, and sits on his bed, head held in his hands. From the corner of his eye, he sees the nightstand, the broken shards of his longsword. Near the foot of the bed, he sees a wrapped cloth. Realizes that's the silver longsword that the mayor had given to him. On top of that, he finds the brooch, the silver raven's brooch that's kept on it. He tries opening his eyes again and winces with the amount of sunlight coming in. Eventually, he's able to kind of equalize and see the room for what it is. He gets up, kind of, works the knots out of his shoulders and his neck. He picks up the shards of his longsword, puts them in another small bag, takes the wrapped up silver longsword and his brooch. He comes down the steps of the inn and makes his way out into the streets of Acisazi. He doesn't bother looking for anyone in his party. He just walks out. In the town, he looks for a armorer and a blacksmith, kind of like an all-in-one kind of shop. Is there such a place?
Well, before we get to that, let's pause for just a second, because several of the people of your party, while you weren't looking for them, said that they kind of had their eye open for you, waiting for you to kind of pop up.
Yeah, I think actually, if we can rewind slightly, if we're all downstairs in the inn, and Corovel becomes aware that the others are waiting for Madden, he'll actually make his way over to them. I think particularly he'd want to kind of talk to Milo before Milo sees Rigzin, because he wants to try and soften the blow. So yeah, he walks across to Milo's table and smiles at him. It's not a particularly warm smile. There's a little hint of some kind of concern in the corner of his eyes, but it seems genuine. It's just slightly troubled, because he's trying to work out what he's going to say and how he's going to say it. And he smiles at Milo in this slightly conflicted way and says, Milo, good morning to you.
Good morning, Corovel. It's good to see you today.
And you. May I sit?
Absolutely.
Is Milo at the same table as Madden?
It's a good question. Is Madden up? You said he was up early, right?
Yeah, he's at a table. He was eating.
Yeah.
He's got
I think
he's
Milo
got the big
would,
breakfast.
even if he weren't invited, Milo would have sat with Madden.
Okay. Yeah, so Corovel will say, and to you, Madden, good morning. I know I am new to your company, and I do not wish to speak out of turn, but I feel there is something I should tell you. I did not spend long in my room. I did not retire to a room last night, rather. I slept here on the floor of the common room, and I was disturbed early by Rigzin.
Early?
Well, yes, I know he's retired to his room now, but earlier he was awake. And, well, he left the inn earlier this morning. It was early this morning, right? I'm not confused.
Yeah, I mean, it happened very early, but I think we said it was around 4 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was in the pre-dawn. He arose, looking somewhat the worse for drink, and very troubled of mind. He left. I could see he did not wish to be spoken to, so I did not trouble him. But I was concerned, so I watched. He left the inn and made his way down to the beach. I walked a little way down this street, but did not follow him closely. He took out his sword on the beach, and I did not hear all that he said, but I saw that he seemed angry and bitter, and I saw him break his sword.
He broke his sword?
Yes. I think in a symbolic gesture. I fear this means he may have, well, perhaps not broken with his god, but, well, I don't know. I feel he meant the breaking of the sword to be symbolic of something greater. But as I say, I did not stand close enough to hear his words. They were not meant for anyone but him and, well, perhaps his god.
Well, we had a very difficult day. I'm sure he had lots to ponder, and it may take some time for him to recover from this trauma. But the dawn brings new light, even if not the dawn of today. He will be better.
Well, so I wished you to understand that perhaps, well, Rigzin might need to be given some time and some space with his thoughts this morning.
I don't suppose he woke up at this early hour. It sounds as though he stayed up all that time drinking.
I do not know. I fell asleep on the floor here. I tried to stay up to keep an eye on him, but he was up so late. My eyes closed.
Madden, were you rooming with him? Did you see Rigzin this morning?
Man, still looking down at his food, shoveling food in his mouth, looks up at Milo. Did you say something?
We're just looking for our friend who's going through an awful trauma. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm surely sleeping.
Yes.
Madden, he broke his sword this morning. I don't know. I think perhaps a symbolic gesture.
Madden sticks his fingers into his mouth. I don't see how it's our problem. That's between him and his god.
It is that. I think that's my message, really. That he has some things that are between him and his god, and well, perhaps needs some time.
We don't have time. We got people to track. We got a friend to rescue.
Aye, we do. What time is it, Game Master? About as we're chatting.
I presume if he fell asleep at 4 and you are all waking up, he probably doesn't wake up, my guess, until 10:30, 11 o'clock. You think
Yeah.
that's fair, Zypher?
Yeah, that's a fair thing to say. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long I'd want to wait around for him to come downstairs. I don't know.
Well, I don't think you have to wait too much longer, as in time, sure enough, you see Rigzin coming down the steps with, I guess, just a broke. What do they see when Rigzin's coming down the steps?
Yeah, so Rigzin would have he would be in his armor. One hand he would have what looks like a bag with metal clinking inside of it. The other definitely seems to be a sword that is wrapped. And if they look closely, which they can see, there's like this, the silver raven's brooch is also in his hand around that same sword. He's not looking around at anyone in the main hall of the inn. He's just making his way to the door.
So you see Rigzin come down, and he just strides right for the door before you can really do anything. What do you guys do? Do you follow him? Are you yelling for him?
Yeah, I feel like Milo would want to respect his space, but definitely want to kind of tail him out the door.
Sure.
Concerned for him.
Is anybody else following as well?
No, Corovel didn't bring his snake companion into the inn, so he's going out to find her, and he'll just say to Madden, "Look, I'll be just outside of town on the southern edge. If you need me, come and find me. I won't be long."
And Madden will look at him and give him a little smile with his teeth. I know where to find you.
Corovel nods and leaves.
Rigzin, feel free to take it away now, man. I just wanted to give them an opportunity to answer your question from earlier. Is there kind of a one-stop shop for blacksmithing type stuff, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you would know that it's probably pretty near the town center. And as you make your way there, they do have a forge. You know that weapons really isn't the forte of this place. They have a few tridents and spears, mostly for fishing nets, that type of thing. But you would see a half-elf, gruff-looking half-elf. He looks a little bit more tough than the most. Perhaps he's wearing like big black leather gloves and a long black leather apron. And as you come closer to his shop, takes these goggles that are over his eyes and pulls them up over his to his forehead, and you can see the ring of soot around his eyes. Hey there, how can I help you?
I am looking for a great axe. Would you have one in stock?
A great axe. I'll have to check in the back. Yeah, you'll have to give me a moment. Sure enough, he
Take your
goes
time.
and he goes into the back and checks, and a couple minutes pass by, and he doesn't really cut. He comes out with an axe, and he looks at you, and the axe that he comes out with, you can tell, has definitely seen better days. It's worthy, and sure enough, he comes out. It's got some rust on the sides of it. Yeah, we don't really have a whole lot of need for axes like this, but yeah, I can definitely sell it to you. You looking to buy?
Yes, I'm looking to buy, and I would like to make a small modification to this axe, if you would be so kind as to oblige me.
Yeah, but what is it that you are looking for here?
And he takes the little satchel and puts it on the table. These are shards of an old sword I no longer need. If you would be so kind as to melt them and create a... what would I call this? A pointy end to the head of this axe.
Yeah, almost like a pike that comes off the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I think I can help you with that. Any engravings or anything?
No engravings. Leave the axe as is. I like it, the look of its old nature. If you could sharpen it and add this slight modification, a pike, to the center of the axe, I would be much obliged.
Sure. Let me go ahead and take a look here. I'll be back. And just, well, actually, I won't be back immediately. It's going to take me some time to do this.
Sure. And Rigzin would say, do you think a couple of hours would be enough to do this? I have other business in town.
Yeah, why don't you give me at least until nightfall, and then I can probably have it done for you then.
Very well. Very well.
Aye. And that'll be, let's see, 2 gold pieces for the axe, and we'll say 5 silver for melting down and putting the pike on.
I think I have enough of that. Yeah, I have enough. Just update my sheet. I can't seem to edit my sheet. But
you have
yeah,
to
go ahead.
type it in manually. You don't have to get a cursor, but if you click on the numbers, you just type in the new number.
No, it says it doesn't allow me to do any of that.
Well, in the interest of time, I'll go ahead and edit it for you. That brings you down to 132 out of your silver pieces. So.
Oh,
should
it's
be
there.
enough.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes. Okay. Sweet.
As so, Milo, you would see this from a distance as Rigzin is not only purchasing this great axe, and he's commissioned this order. I know that you said you were kind of trying to follow him at a distance. Are you doing anything, or are you just kind of watching creepily from the bushes?
I imagine that's exactly what Milo's doing, is just thinking he's much smoother than he is, kind of like they were outside of the shop, where he's just wandering around outside, pretending like he's not doing anything. Yeah, he's pretty clearly failing at any stealth check that he would try to roll.
Sure.
But trying not to be obvious, but not very good at it.
Well, why don't you roll a stealth check?
Fair.
And we'll let the dice decide.
Let's
and
do
Rigzin,
that.
why don't you roll a perception?
Oh no,
check?
but I think it's fine because Rigzin is not even he doesn't care who's following him, who's looking at him. He's just in his own world. He's doing his own thing. So it's
Sure.
even if he can see Milo, he's not interested in what Milo's seeing at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's essentially just like I don't care.
Yeah. Rigzin is not trying to hide anything. He just has an agenda for today, and he's just following it.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, It's going to take some time for this great axe to finish, and the rest of you have some. You know that you kind of have an idea for what you want to do.
Yeah. So the next. So a couple of. I think this is. If we could just follow with my RP, I'll end up bringing everybody together. So.
Go for it.
Yep. So after that, Rigzin leaves the blacksmith shop, and he makes his way to the would you say like a town hall where the mayor would be?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he makes his way towards the town hall and tries to get an audience with the mayor.
Okay. Yeah, the mayor is available. They really don't have so much at town hall, but you have been to the mayor's house before, and sure enough, he's there, kind of taking care of some of the affairs of the town as he sees you. Rigzin, it's good to see you. You're back a lot earlier than I thought. How can we help?
What's his name again? Forgot.
We forgot.
His name is Mayor Mayerson.
Bodie McBones.
I actually have his name right here. I didn't buy enough time. Olthel. Olthel.
Oh yeah.
E-L.
Write that down.
Olthel.
Oltel. Okay. So Rigzin walks up to him. Mayor Oltel, your town has been most gracious in accommodating us, giving us a place to stay. I'm sorry I could not do more during the attack of the Sea Devils.
As we have told you, we're grateful for the assistance you gave. It was invaluable. I know that you beat yourself up for the citizens that fell, but I want to assure you it would have been much worse had you not been here.
It was indeed much worse, Mayor Oltel. On the outskirts of your fine city was a lighthouse. The keeper of the lighthouse was helping others who were hunted by the agents of Cheliax. Cheliax calls these hunts righteous by using legal words, legal terms, legal contracts, saying these people have run away from employment and broken their contracts. All of this in the silvery tongue of Cheliax is how they hide the act of enslavement of the people. I could not save them. I could not save the lighthouse. I could barely save the lighthouse keeper. And in the process, I have lost a good friend. But I mean to correct that. But there are consequences for one's actions. I know you gave me the sword in good faith, but I can no longer keep it in good faith. I have lost its grace. If you would be so kind as to keep it with you for a while I regain myself and redeem myself. Maybe one day I'll find myself walking through the streets of Acisazi again and call upon you.
Sorry to hear about old Reynold. We knew he was a good man, but we did not... we were unaware of his activities. Tell me, is he okay?
He is better. We were fortunate to find one from your town who helped us in our time of need, a druid.
Oh, is Is that the young Corovel?
Yes, yes, I believe that's his name. He came to our aid in the nick of time.
He smiles at that. Corovel has a knack for that.
Yes, I wish to talk to this young man. I will need his services. Nay, we, my friends who remain, will need his services.
I think that is quite wise to enlist a druid of his caliber. I think it would be a great assistance to you. As for the sword, I will. Sorry to hear you're returning it, and I will do my best to hold on to it.
There is one more item that I must also keep in your care, and he produces the Silver Raven's brooch. This was given to me by the Order. They mean well. They mean to help the people of Kintargo. But I fear that these times ask things of us that well-meaning people may not be able to provide. I embark on a journey now, Mayor Oltel, and I do not see the light at the end of this journey. Redemption may not be mine to have, but I do not wish to besmirch the good name of the Silver Ravens. I do not wish to be seen with this brooch on me and the acts that I will be forced to do. None of these will be in the name of the Silver Raven. Please keep this with you. If any of the Order arrive, give this to them. Let them know what happened here.
What is your experience with the Silver Ravens?
I do not have much experience. They searched me, said I had to come out here, find possibly a cult of Asmodeus. If we were to find anyone that needs aid from the Hellknights, then provide aid.
So sounds like what you're saying is that you are not too aware of all of the activities that they have been involved in. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, yes.
Son, do you know why I gave you that silver sword?
I thought it was because I helped save your town.
Yes. It was also for the work that you go to do. The Olthel kind of stands up, kind of holding a knee that's kind of straining under his weight, little achy, kind of rubs it. At this point, I assume that you're talking inside of his house. And,
Yes.
You're kind of sitting down in a very humble dwelling. Not everyone from Acisazi was involved in what happened in Ravenel. Some of us were. Some of us were intimately involved. And he kind of goes up to a shelf where there is a pot, and he pulls out a like-minded, an identical brooch to yours, and turns around and looks at you straight in the eyes. I gave you that sword because I know of the work that you are to do. If you would like to give it back, that is fine. But I think you elevate the Silver Ravens to too high a rank of honor in your own mind's eye. Like I said, I will do my best to hold on to the sword if that is your wish.
What I will do from now on will not reflect well on any order. If you tell me that the Silver Ravens have been in such trenches, then I shall keep the brooch. I find for a long time I thought justice and law would help a society prevail. I've seen it perverted, subverted by people of their own machinations. So this time, I'm not much for justice and law in the sake of society. This time it's personal. Someone was taken from me, and I wish to raise the very ground on which the people who have committed these atrocities walk on. Every step they take, they will see me hounding them. Every ally they have will not be spared. Every cult, every coven, every hovel will burn. This land will not be a haven for the people of Asmodeus, for the Hellknights, let alone anybody from Cheliax. I was trained to be zealous, Mayor Oltel. I will do the very thing. My zealotry will be just directed now. Directed now towards all of Cheliax. If you think these actions would fall under the purview of a Silver Raven, then I'll keep the brooch. If it does bring them shame, then I give it to you.
I think you should hold on to the brooch, because I think that I don't know where you're from, but I think you're a lot closer to the heart of the citizens of Cantargo and Ravano than you think.
Thank you, Mayor. This has been helpful. We shall leave your town by tomorrow morning.
Aye.
With that, Rigzin gets up, gives him a bow, and walks out of his house towards the inn.
As you leave, I imagine he kind of like whispers under his breath. He might not say he's a paladin, but that boy still acts like one. So the camera presumably follows Rigzin back to the inn, where the rest of the party is, presumably. Unless any of you are... I know that Corovel was kind of out on the beaches. What was he doing kind of in this interim time?
Yeah, so he's actually gone just onto the southern outskirts of town, and as soon as he gets there, he kind of lets out a low whistle and waits for a little while, and he does it a couple more times, and eventually there's a rustling in the bushes, and a large snake appears. And he holds out his hand, and the snake approaches, and he kind of strokes it behind the head. And then sighs. Says, "Well, Nasha, this is a complicated thing. I came to join these people because I thought they were our best chance getting some measure of peace in this land, driving away those that threaten it. But I now see that they have their own problems, their own demons, if you will. I still think this is the right course, but it is more complicated than I thought. People are complicated. He smiles and chuckles slightly and says, "Animals are simpler, aren't you?" And he kind of like rubs her under the chin, and then she spots something scuttling in the undergrowth and darts off after it. And he stays there for a while, just talking to her, but really talking to himself, and kind of sorting out his thoughts.
Matt and Milo, anything you guys are doing while you're waiting? Don't want to give you guys a moment before Rigzin comes back, if you'd like it.
Madden finished his meal and he's sitting there waiting for everybody to come back because he ain't gonna try to find everybody. And he's growing impatient because he feels like he should be moving, right?
And I feel like Milo continues his shitty stealth mission of following Rigzin around. Just waits outside of the tavern for a while after he goes in and walks in after him. Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, just happened upon you here.
Hey.
Wow.
Wow, I just got back. What have you been up to? Sort of thing.
Gotcha. I can see it. Rigzin, you walk into the tavern. You see Madden and a very suspicious Milo.
Rigzin signals the tavern keep. A bowl of your oatmeal, please. And then he goes and sits in front of Madden. Milo, if you'd be so kind as to join us.
Oh, certainly. Thanks for inviting me.
Corovel, I imagine that you would see Rigzin making his way back to the tavern, if that is something you'd like to act upon.
Definitely. So yeah, Corovel sees it happening, and he kind of says goodbye to Nashar for a minute and says, "Keep a watch when we leave town. Follow us." And then he heads back to the inn.
In the tavern, is there a map of the area? You know that map you showed me and kind of explained the land to me.
Sure. Yeah. Let me go ahead and actually bring that up because I think that would help everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just thinking about like when you're on a long road trip, right? And you go to a gas station, and sometimes they have like 3 or 4 county area of all kinds of towns and stuff. And I imagine that they would have something similar to that in this tavern.
Cool. So Rigzin looks around the tavern, finds a map that might be hanging on the wall. Without a word, he goes up to it and brings it down and brings it to the table. We are here, Acisazi. We were told that there is a cult of Asmodeus somewhere in the Dismal Niche. Cheliax is to the south of us. They have to go through the mountains. To the east is Nidal, which brings them closer to Kintargo. They wouldn't risk it. Hellknights like that. And he starts talking, and he's now giving lots of details. Hellknights like that do not work alone. Yes, there were 2 of them, but there will be a large group. The group might sometimes have 4, 6, or even 8 Hellknights with 1 leader. They break off in twos, go hunting into the towns like Acisazi, find people who have escaped contracts as they say, capture them and bring them back. Once they have hit their quota, they start traveling back to Cheliax. The problem is the travel. Through the mountains, it's very difficult. Before, there was the Meander Gap. That's no longer accessible. The only way for them is to pass through the Arcadian Ocean, round the Cape of Dis, go along the coast till they are in the Cheliax coast. And that's how they will get their people and the slaves they have captured back into Cheliax.
So you want to cut them off before they reach Cheliax?
Yes. We will have to cut them off before they reach Cheliax. They will make their way down the coast, past the Dismal Niche, towards Cape Dis, and whatever towns they lie on the way.
Well, if they're traveling by barge, they have a far head start on us.
No, the barge won't be so close. They will have to get to some town like Acisazi to get on a barge. And like I said, they have a quota of slaves that they must capture before they leave the area. Not only that, like I said, we met 2. When they start traveling, they might be close to even 8 with a leader. There will be some central location in this area or close by that they will talk to a Cheliax representative and get further orders. Where it is, I don't know. But I do know that the Hellknights generally, for certain things, also work with the cult of Asmodeus. They might exchange some information. They might exchange some provisions. They have their own goals. It's not like they work completely hand in hand, but they do help each other. So, if we are to figure out the route that they're going to take back to Cheliax, I think we have to figure out how Cheliax brings items for the Asmodeus cult to start setting up camp throughout Ravenel.
I'm sorry, say that last part again. We have to find out what now?
So, in the sense that if there is a way to get back into Cheliax, there must be a way for Cheliax to get back into Ravenel, right? The Asmodeus cult also works out of Cheliax, right? So they get all their stuff from Cheliax.
Right.
So we need to figure out what their trade route is. It'll be the same route that they'll be taking the slaves by.
Right. Well, and I hadn't even thought of it, but surely traveling with these enslaved people, they can't move as fast as we can. Surely we can catch up to them.
Yes, we can catch up to them. But I think you have not been listening to what I'm saying. They travel in a group. There will be more than 2 Hellknights in that group. Like I said, 6, 8, even 10. I do not know what the exact number is. They keep changing their configurations. You saw what happened when the 4 of us met 2 Hellknights. What do you think is going to happen to us when we meet 8 or 10 Hellknights? The point is to save our friend and rescue the slaves. The point is not to jump on a sword that's thrust out like martyrs. We know I rushed into that battle. I will not make that same mistake again.
So what do you suggest? How do we take on the 6 Hellknights?
Using the element of surprise. Using things like you said. They will be slow. They will have many slaves. They have a quota to meet, which means each slave is important to them. They are on the defensive now. If they have met their quota, they would want to get to Cheliax as quickly as possible. If they have not met their quota, they still want to get their quota met as quickly as possible because they are exposed. When you eat a hot dish, how do you eat it? Do you go immediately for the center and scald your tongue and the roof of your mouth? Or do you take small chunks at the edge of the meat? That's what we will do. First, we need to establish the route that they're going to follow to get out of Raven. Then, we're going to hunt them and find out where they are, find their exact numbers. We shall scout. Then we shall follow them. And when opportunity arises, we shall start dwindling their numbers slowly but effectively. They will be caught. Yes, the Hellknights are dying, but they have met their quota. Do they release all the slaves back and run away? I don't think so. Cheliax would not welcome them so well. They have everything to protect and lose. We have already lost. Nothing more to lose from our end, except our lives.
Corovel is listening quietly to all of this. And not only does he listen to the words, but he's watching everyone's expressions at the same time, and trying to work out what they're thinking. When Rigzin finishes speaking and there's a moment of quiet, he kind of rubs at his chin and then says, "Well, I'm not really experienced in the ways of combat particularly, but this seems reasonable. And for what it's worth, you have my aid. I'm a better healer than a fighter, but I will do my best. I certainly want to recover the poor people who've been taken by these Hellknights. That's my main aim here."
Yeah, Milo flashes Corovel a warm smile. Your help is most appreciated. You're very welcome to join us.
Well, and Corovel smiles and chuckles slightly and says, "In a way, you could think of it more that you're helping me. After all, this is as much in the realm of the Bellflower Network as it is in yours." He smiles. And then looks across at Madden, who's been quite quiet.
Madden sitting there, kind of staring at this map. Ambushing them and splitting them off is the greatest tactic we got. But I still can't help shake the feeling that we're going to be behind them the whole way. And that perhaps we should just head south. For the first time we see in Cheliax across the river. Start burning it. And work our way to the first docks there is. They're bound to stop to resupply.
Just out of character, I just want to confirm. that I was in the RP, there was no confusion that it going south along the river, they end up going to go to that Menador Gap,
Uh,
and Rigzin would have said that gap is no longer traversable. It's like kind of destroyed.
no, Madden would be pointing at the river where the boundary line is. Yes.
Oh, is that river there? It's hard to see
Yes.
with the boundary.
You have to zoom in.
Sure.
Ah, I see. Near kind of west of Oak Rib Inn.
Yes.
So, shall we take the route along the coast, or shall we go direct south to cut them off for the sure thing?
Well, the Dismal Niche has the Asmodeus cult. We can go there and destroy them and find out how the cult brought in items into Ravenel. That might help us understand how the cult moves into Ravenel from Cheliax. Maybe the Hellknights use the same route. If we don't learn anything useful, then we do what Madden says. Cut a path straight down south and wait for them.
Yes, of course. Cedru, the shopkeep, he told us that he got his supplies from the cultists over by this area, the Dismal Niche.
Well, I'd imagine that he kind of looks down. Well, it is not against the rules here for the cult to have stuffs. I imagine it's just a normal trader's route. And maybe they can't get through normal ways, so yes. There's probably other ways that traders do it. Maybe Dismal Niche has the answer to that. I could agree. But then what are we doing waiting here? The longer we wait, the further they get.
I would say use the day to get all the supplies you would need. Here on out, we may not come across a friendly town like Acisazi. If we start traveling into the unknown of the Ravenel Forest, the Dismal Niche, we will just have each other and our weapons and whatever is in our backpack to protect us. Use this time wisely. Armor up, weapon up, buy whatever items you need for the long trek. And do not rush into this. They will not leave Ravenel that easily. They will have to hide in the shadows while we do not. Because if they don't, we will know much about a caravan of people being taken across this land, people imprisoned and enchained. No, they will have to hide while we do not.
And Madden's gonna kind of look at him. Why would they have to hide?
Because what they're doing is not approved.
But if I remember correctly, it is approved. Former slaves are allowed to be captured under Ravenel's laws.
Yes, but they could be stopped and questioned. Questioning could lead to battle. Battle could lead to losses, which means open war. No. They will do it quietly. You said it yourself. Both of you were in the lighthouse. Why didn't they attack you? They knew what was happening. That's why they came back. They waited for the two of you to leave.
Yeah.
No.
And then keeping it by themselves is no threat to them. Yeah, we didn't do that in the first battle. But that may not have been the same thing that happens in the lighthouse if we were all there. They came back because we left.
Exactly.
So one small correction. Everything is great. Just so Ravenel actually does not allow slavery.
That's
It's
what I thought,
outlawed
yeah.
in Ravenel and Cantargo. Um, the only reason that the Hell Knights are able to really get away with what they're doing is because it's one, Ravenel doesn't have the arms to kind of go toe to toe with Cheliax. They're still like building this country, and so part of it is just like they don't have the resources to fight back. And with that said, when the Silver Ravens actually sent you out here, they said if you do see Hell Knights,
That was the line that they couldn't cross.
yes, and they said, feel free to take action as necessary to remedy the situation.
See, I thought that was more of an implied under the table type thing.
The Silver Ravens were definitely they were like they didn't say outright like kill the Hell Knights. They were essentially like, and if the Hell Knights don't come back to Cheliax, oh well, something must have happened to them in the forest or in the ocean, and that's not us. Mostly to avoid like a diplomatic incident, if at all possible, because part of the reason Ravenel is able to survive is because they can't take care of things in outright confrontation, and so they try to take care of things in a more subversive and quiet manner.
Sorry, my brain is going like Putin muscling in on Ukraine, but never mind.
It's honestly, that's a pretty good corollary.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what
there's a
happened
timestamp
to
for you.
those?
Yeah.
Where are those Russian soldiers? Oh, I guess they defected. I don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared.
Okay. So we know the Hell Knights are
We shall
overstepping
leave.
their authority. They're acting on their own authority from Cheliax, but they're not authorized to do this where they are.
Yeah. Like they're essentially You pretty much said this. I'm gonna give Milo a chance. Roll me a wisdom check really quick. It's because you're the one that said it, and so I want to give you the opportunity to see if you remember something in particular. 15 was the DC.
Hey.
Yeah, that's the DC I set in my head earlier. You specifically brought up that location where Cedru, the shop owner, said that he kind of received those items of Asmodeus. And he said that people in like robes and cloaks essentially gave it to him without free of charge, with the hope of just like propagating it as much as he possibly could. They're essentially paying him to sell it.
Right. Yes. And we know that it came from this direction.
Yeah, Cedric gave you the coordinates where
Yeah.
he received the items and brought them back.
Yeah. So I share this with the party. I mean, just reminding them, because I didn't even go into the shop. But you said he didn't even pay for those things. That they came from these people. He points right at the map. Like they're right over here. That they must be devout cultists to Asmodeus. That they would just give him this paraphernalia at no cost.
No doubt recruiting. Promoting Asmodeus is pretty popular way to bring more into the cult.
I'm sure they would get more back from any recruits.
Well, We go to Dismal Niche. We find them. Maybe we find the Hellknights. Maybe we find their extra point. All foretold. Whatever we find there turns to ash as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Who is the god that Rigzin was devout to until recently?
Yomadai.
Yomadai. Milo will say, I believe Iomadai and Saren Ray would agree.
With that, when you say Yomadai, Rigzin would with a fist, he would smash the table. Do not utter that name in my presence again.
Milo opens his mouth as if to say something to question this, but thinks better.
You
of it.
are welcome to pray to your god, Milo. And if you need to utter the name, do so in your thoughts, but do not utter the name again in my presence.
And Corovel is not saying anything, but he's looking at Rigzin with a little bit of maybe concern, maybe sympathy. But
And for Corovel, you would see that the face has changed. Like there was like a face, like the muscles on the face were kind of focused when he was explaining how the Hellknights would operate. But when Milo said Yomadai, you can now see just rage on the face.
And Corovel also gives Milo a sympathetic look, and just gives him just a hint of a gesture of, it's okay.
Madden picks up the wooden ale mug that tipped over when he slammed his fist down. If you're done, perhaps we should get ready to go. Yeah, he'll stand up and he takes
One more thing.
take off his silver brooch. I'm gonna sell this and get traded in for health potions.
What was that you're trading in?
The silver raven brooch.
That's so funny.
One more thing. What Madden says is going to happen. Anything of Cheliax, anything of Asmodeus, I'm going to raise it to the ground. This may not sit well with you, and if it does not, stay away when these acts are committed.
But beware, Rigzin. As you yourself have said, we must not go charging in. And don't let your desire to fulfill your oath and lay everything to waste bring you and, well, the rest of us into danger. As you said, there could be several of them. Too many for us to face directly, and, well, a desire to raise everything to the ground might have to be kept in check.
Rigzin just grunts and gets up and walks out of the...
Madden would look at the newcomer. Don't think that we're gonna lead ourselves into a slaughter. We had a tough time with the two Hellknights. It may not happen again. They were lucky. But 3 or 4, we ain't doing nothing but leading our friend to his death because we will be dead to his wedding.
Aye, that is exactly my fear. I'm reassured that you understand and appreciate this.
Yes, it does us no good to die first. However, I have no problem with following behind them and ruining what they have.
Aye. Anything we can do to disrupt their operations. For me, I'm playing a longer game. I wish to make it hard for them to operate in this land. So, I will gladly help with this, but I will not throw my life away.
Yes. There is no honor in death. He kind of nodded his head. Now I gotta go see how much I can get for this.
And every Star Trek nerd who knows everything about Klingons just raged at Sim.
That probably includes Tet. I don't know. I mean...
Oh, well, yeah, we'll have to hear from Tet.
He's going to cancel his game.
And somehow Sim just disappeared. We don't know what happened. Just one day. If y'all could give me another wisdom check, everybody, with the exception of Rigzin. DC is set in my head, so whenever you're ready to roll, go for it.
Wisdom, you said?
Yeah, wisdom.
Oh.
Milo fails. Oh, man. All right.
I don't know. This seems about right to me.
Sounds good. All right, you all get up from your chairs and proceed to prepare for the next day. In the interest of just keeping some things moving, I know that we're waiting on Rigzin's axe. Is there any other gear or any other housekeeping things you want to take care of? Is the plan for you guys to sleep here tonight and then leave the following morning? Give me some of the mechanical details of how this is working out.
Well, Madden wants to sell the silver brooch for... we'll trade it for its credit towards health potions and buy some, essentially.
Okay. Okay, so a health potion, I was actually looking that up. There are two types. Available in this settlement, you'd have health healing potions minor, and each of those would cost 40 silver pieces or 4 gold pieces. It will restore 1d8 hit points upon drinking it.
The minor will?
The minor. The lesser, which is kind of the next stage up, that would be 12 gold pieces, so 120 silver pieces. God, this is really expensive. Jeez Louise. You know what? That sucks.
I'm going to need you to break it down in the coppers for me.
Sounds good.
Actually, no, I'm lying. I got silver pieces.
You wake up in the morning to see Madden turning tricks on the corner.
Again? Last time it was armor, this time it's healing potions.
Yeah, the
It's
things you
always
do
the reason.
for a potion, man. Wow.
Okay, so Madden, is that something you would like to... So I think that's ridiculous for 1d8 hit points. That sucks. And I've been kind of stingy with gold. So I'm just going to say 1 gold piece for a healing potion minor. Because this... And just so that you don't think I'm going easy on you, Paizo's like really bad at how much some like one-use items cost. Like they actually had to retcon a whole thing and start. No, they added a whole story element in Starfinder for why the pharmaceutical industry was overcharging on healing potions because they still
Because they're bad at balancing things.
because they're bad at balancing. So I'm just going to go ahead and say 1 gold piece for a healing potion minor, if that's something you would like.
All right, so how much can you get for the silver brooch?
That feels like fair. Silver brooch. Let's treat that as an amulet. And you know what? I'm gonna say a guy looks at it and he says, "Oh, I can melt this down into some silver pieces. Yeah, I'll give you 2 gold pieces for it."
Yeah, man, not being the charisma type is just nodding in agreement.
Heck yeah!
Good. I need all the health potions I could get for that, plus 1 more.
Excellent. Pleasure doing business with you. And he gives you a very toothy grin for a half health.
Perfect.
Cool.
So that'll be 100 silver pieces, correct?
So 30 silver pieces for 3. I'm sorry. For the brooch, you get 20 silver pieces. If you are purchasing 3 healing potion miners, and I'm going to use the same math on the healing potion lesser as well, which is just 1/4 of the cost, which would make it. You can get a miner for 1 gold piece, and that will heal 1d8 hit points. Or you can get a lesser healing potion for 3 gold pieces, and that will give you 2d8 plus 5 hit points.
Okay, and how many? What do I get for the brooch?
20 silver pieces, which is equivalent to 2 gold pieces.
Perfect. So, 20. So is it 10 silver pieces per gold piece? So that's
Yeah, it's a base 10 system.
Gotcha. Yeah, man, take 4 of them.
4 of them? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
For minor or for lesser? Just so I'm on the same page.
He'll take the lesser. He's not thinking that he's gonna get hurt too bad. He's a strong fella.
Wait. Lesser is better than minor. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he knows. He just wants the minimal. He doesn't want to spend all. He's got a feeling he's got to spend more money down the road, so he's got to keep some.
Okay.
Wait,
so I'm gonna
that's
play.
3 gold. That's 3 gold pieces each for each lesser.
Yeah, so it's just 30 silver pieces a pop.
Yeah, so that's 120 silver pieces for 4.
Yes, but he's taking 4 minor.
Okay. So 100%. To be clear, you are taking the weaker one that gives
Yes.
you 1d hit points. That's 1 gold piece a pop.
Yes.
And you're taking 4 of those, correct?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and augment your currency accordingly. And in the party sheet, I don't know if you recall where that is, but if you go to the top right corner of Fantasy Grounds, you'll see 3 little people kind of standing in a group button. Click on that. It'll bring up your party sheet, and you should have an option for the inventory tab on the right side. I went ahead and put your 4 healing potions there. That's where I'll drop all the gear. Feel free to drag and drop that onto your character sheet accordingly.
And I would also buy 2 more, so let's keep that as 6.
Cool. I added 2 more just in time before he depleted and took the last one. So those are on the party sheet as well. Keep in mind to update your money accordingly. It is 1 gold piece for a potion, or 10 silver pieces. Cool. Any other things before you all head out?
Nah, Milo just praised his ass off for Rigzin at this point.
And it falls off.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm also going to
He was
buy.
already kind of a small butt.
Sorry. I had 2 1-week rations. I'm going to buy 2 more of those.
Okay.
So 4 weeks of ration.
Added to the party sheet accordingly. Feel
Yeah,
free
and
to
how much
drag
are the
and drop
rations? How much do they cost?
Yeah.
Rations for 1 week cost 4 silver pieces.
Okay.
Nothing special, just,
Sure, throw in another
Essentially,
4,
like-
throw in another 4 rations in the party sheet for me, please.
Yeah, another 4 for me.
All right, there you guys go. There are 12 rations for 1 week on the party sheet in the inventory tab. Feel free to drag and drop it on your sheets accordingly. I feel like I should be an automated, telephone.
I've got a couple of weeks already, so I'm
Cool.
hoping
Okay.
Actually, no. You know what? I'll actually buy another. Because I don't want to run out.
Cool.
How do I take stuff off my sheet?
Click the
That is a
top
great
right corner where it
question.
says Edit List. And a little red line, little red
There it
circle
is.
with the
Perfect.
white line. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little button that looks like a pencil in the top right corner of your inventory.
And then it gets invisible. Like I click it again, it's kind of invisible after it turns gray.
I see.
Another-
Okay.
I don't know why there's a 4-person tent in the parcel items, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Maybe Sabriel bought it and forgot to take it. It's a shame.
I have a 4% tent. I think it just didn't transfer over, so it's in my inventory, so you can remove it from there.
Nice.
I'm carrying the 4% tent.
Got it. Okay, cool. Any other item-related things?
Maybe.
Go for it. It's always weird before you venture out into
The unknown.
the unknown. Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Silver Ravens.
There is no honor in death.
Well, you gotta remember, I gave my Silver Raven brooch for health potions. I don't know if that revokes my membership or not.
Yeah, I don't think they would mind.
There isn't that much difference between armors, are there? Yeah.
How do I add a weapon into the actions?
Great question. Give me a second here to.
The little blue button.
just
that
want
looks
to
like
add
a
my-
sword.
You're talking about the battle axe, correct?
Yes.
Got you. Have you added a battle axe to your sheet or no? Oh, you have. Okay, I see the
no,
great axe.
No. Yeah, it's in the inventory, just so that if you're keeping track of, like, what do you call that, encumbrance and stuff like that, but I've not added it to my actions or
Got you.
combat.
Okay. This is like Fantasy Grounds is it's both unintuitive and intuitive at the same time, and it made me so mad figuring this out. So if you go to the Great Axe, Zypher, and in your inventory space, you'll see a little gray button at the end that looks like a shirt and a bag. Change that one to the shirt. That will be equipped. Now go to your Actions tab, and it's not there. So that worked out great. Awesome. Let me go ahead and add it from the items here, and let me see if that fixes it. There we go, Great Axe. Okay, I'm just adding it right to your sheet. Gonna do the equip thing, actions. There it is. Bam. Bam, bam,
I see it. Thank you.
That is strange, though, that it is giving you only a +4 to hit. I wonder why that's the case. You're trained in martial weapons. It should give you a +4 bonus. Great Axe is a martial weapon. Oh, you know what? Let me try this. There we go. It wasn't adding your strength in. You're good. Great Axe is good to go.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. Any other items that you would like to talk about? I know that Madden is impossible. Yes.
I was just looking at armor. It doesn't look like much change from high to anything else, so I'm not going to spend money on it.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, what is the plan? You guys are doing all the shopping. You're the. I know you're waiting for this battle axe. Presumably, it's the end of the day. You get to the axe, Rigzin, the great axe. You all are essentially ready to set out at this point. Is the plan to leave immediately or to wait until the following morning?
Well, I think they gotta wait till the following morning, right?
That's
the
you.
plan.
Yeah, let's not do this in the night.
But one more thing before we stop the store thing, oil. Didn't I buy oil last time? I thought I did, but maybe not. I need oil.
Sure.
for burning.
Gotcha. I thought it was for like making your muscles
The
glisten.
Tin Man.
That too. I mean, glisten is better than sweating, and he always looks like he's glistening.
Okay, so it is Acisazi. They're like, oh yeah, we got. They go to Sedru, who's the merchant. He's like, oh yeah, no, we got lots of oil. We got
Omega-3.
tons, absolutely tons. Yeah, and he brings out like a small couple pints of it. It's like it's only a copper for a pint of oil, but he like takes off the topper and it's just pure fish oil.
This won't burn.
Oh, I know. And he goes and gets some different oil and brings it out, and it's from a whale.
Not of talking. Not much.
Still a copper.
All right, because he's gonna. Well, I imagine he's gonna want. Because is it firm? Is it firm? Whale blubber, oil, or is it liquid?
Oh, it's liquid. They do some send it to the Acisazi alchemist, who is able to take out certain properties and turn it into a liquid form, so that it essentially will work in your lantern.
Good, because he's gonna need some water skins full.
Like how many?
I would say how much? So a copper per water skin. Is that the deal here?
Let's see. A water skin is 5 copper pieces.
So 5 copper pieces for the water skin full of oil.
5 copper pieces for the water skin. Oil comes in a pint, which is just like a glass thing that comes with it.
Okay, how much oil fits into a water skin?
It says 1 day's worth of water, so I'm saying you could probably fit 3 pints of oil in 1 water skin.
Perfect. So he's gonna get. So that's 3 coppers. That's 8 coppers per water skin full. He'll take 10.
10 water skins full of oil?
Yep.
Just a shit ton of water skins filled with oil.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
so
gonna be back 80 coppers, which is 8 silver pieces, right?
Yes, 8 silver pieces. He's like, wow, you got some plans.
I do, and you'll look at him, kind of give him a little smile. Doesn't look like he's smiling, I guess.
Yeah, just looks like you're showing teeth, and he's like, okay, please leave my shop now. No, he says thank you very much, and takes your coin, and that's 8 silver pieces for all that oil. Now, it says here, if the oil ignites on a target, and that's the trouble, is getting it to ignite, the target will take 1d6 fire damage. So if you can find some way of utilizing that against your opponents, which I'm certain you will, you can light them on fire.
Excellent.
I do have the produce flame cantrip.
Bam.
Yeah, we can have some fun with this stuff.
Awesome.
So, let's see here.
Madden's the first one to write the anarchist cookbook. Okay, cool. Any other odds and ends? Any other things y'all want to take care of?
I just want to confirm that we had like a cart, I think, right, with a
Like a wagon.
beast of burden that was pulling it.
Yeah, it
Did
came
we-
here. Oh, go ahead.
No, just want to confirm. Did we? No.
Yes, one did come with you in bringing your gear. Generally, you haven't taken it too far out to some of the Badlands because there's less roads and makes it a little bit difficult to take it along. But if you wanted to try and bring it with you, that's fine.
No, I think what we'll just do is we'll just unhitch the cart and use the beast of burden as to carry some of the items. That way we can just pull it
Sure.
along.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I will put a mule on future battle maps and target it.
Cool. I think that's it.
Okay. All right. So, final thoughts. Going to give you 3 seconds. Going once, going twice, and you all spend the evening in the tavern, going over the plan for the following days, and lay your head to rest. The camera, though, comes to a different location, a quote location that is in the middle of a clearing. I know that you don't have the character ready, but if you would be so kind as to pick up Sabriel, Mr. Wanderer.
Okay. Sabriel. There we go.
Don't want to forget about our friend Sabriel.
Yeah. Okay.
Sabriel, you are in the middle of this camp with some of these new recruits that are not recruits, newly captured people that are around you. Perhaps kind of like being huddled up here. You know that the one who actually caught you, I can't find his token right now, presumably he's off. In fact, a couple of the Hellknights are not present. I'm actually going to go ahead and do this. Keep this guy here, do this, keep this guy here. On the whole, they haven't done much to indoctrinate you or try to force you into following their ways. It's only the first day of camp, and it's clear that they have other fish to fry, at least at this particular moment. You see them kind of coordinating with one another. The last time we overheard them, they said that they had actually fulfilled their quota. And so, presumably this is the same night that everything is going on.
Men, have you organized, have you cataloged every single one of those that we are returning home with?
So we're in the middle of it. We are almost there. Just a few. We thought that we'd actually fulfilled our quota, but it turns out that there are a few others in this region, and so we sent out two of them to go hunt down the final ones. It shouldn't be much, not more than a day left before we leave.
Good, good. I would like for us to not fall behind schedule. We will leave tomorrow, with or without them. It is important that we keep to the written language within the contract, that we check in with the Diablosts at the fort. Keep me appraised of the situation. No matter what, we will leave tomorrow, and we will leave at nightfall. The last thing we need to do is be wandering around in the daylight, giving these people a chance to shout and yell out. Best to stick to the cover of darkness.
Yes, my lord. They can then go about kind of looking over the shoulders of these peasants ominously, and Sabriel, you'd be able to see that there are some who've been here longer than the others. Some of them look to be, their will broken, just eating from gruel. This one would be coming up to your party. Gruel, this is your meal for the day. And you, pointing to Sabriel, enjoy it. Your last day of freedom. Then we will begin to help you learn enough about the Order.
You can dress it up in whatever words you would like, but I am a slave just as these people are.
Oh, son. You're far more than just a slave with the talent that you have. The power that you can wield. The name of Asmodeus can push you to feats unknown. To allow you to never have to be like these filth ever again. You are their better. And we will help you attain that. Smiles.
I'm not their better, although I am yours. Anyone who does not refer to other people with terms such as quotas, who does not enslave their fellow beings, any of them are your better. And he gives a placid smile.
Eat your gruel, boy, because that will be the first thing they break from you. This spirit of yours.
Are Sabriel's hands untied?
Oh no, they are hella tied.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And Sabriel says, it's rather hard to eat with your hands tied. You still fear me, don't you? You think that I, one lone mage, somehow break free if you were to untie my hands? For all your arrogance, for all your much vaunted skill, power, and faith in your demonic master, you fear me, one lone wizard, little more than an apprentice.
Do not confuse fear for respect. I sheath my sword as well so I don't cut myself on it. I would not willy-nilly have it going about so that it can cut me when I least expect it. And he gives you a wink and walks away.
And Sabriel sighs. He gets up and kind of stretches his legs, and then turns to one of the guards and says, I have a need to relieve myself. It's a little difficult with my hands tied, though. Could you free me just for a moment? I'll give you my word of honor not to cast any spells or to run away.
The one that has been over kind of south of you begins to walk up, and he is full stature. It seems the other Hellknights respect him.
You can learn, just as those dogs in Cantargo did, to deal and to adapt.
And Sabriel sighs and says, very well, I will find a way to adapt. And he kind of walks off into the shadows and does his best to deal with things with his hands tied. And then when do they watch him really carefully the whole time?
Oh yeah, no, this dude follows you and is like right behind you.
Right.
It's like when you're at a urinal in a public place and there's the guy who takes the urinal right next to you.
Yeah. So Sabriel was really hoping he could find an opportunity to cause a little trouble for them, but he's going to have as he turns to go back to the camp.
he's going to just kind of on his way walking back. He's kind of going to appraise the camp a little bit, looking for anything like, are there any horses that aren't particularly well tied, or is there anything he could exploit just to cause them some delay?
Yeah, go ahead, and I tell you, let's leave this up to luck. These guys are a little bit more martial and fastidious than your normal soldier. They're not just going to generally leave implements laying around. So go ahead and roll me a d20, and I'm going to say on a 1 to 6, there might be something that piques your interest.
Oh, don't
And,
I
ahead.
have I have, what are they called? Is it hero points?
You do have hero points. Yeah, you. That's something that we haven't talked about in a while. But yes, every session, everybody starts with 1 hero point that you can use to re-roll any roll from that particular session. And I'm also supposed to give them out. But I'm bad at that.
Okay, so I'll probably re-roll this if it doesn't go well, just to try and get a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's try again. Okay, I'm going to spend a point and re-roll.
Sure. Oh, it was on the 5.
No.
It was on the 5,
It
and I said
was.
1 to 6.
It was.
Oh, God, I love it.
There goes that hero point.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So, Sabriel kind of looks around for stuff. He's trying to see are there any horses he could spook, or maybe try and damage a wagon wheel or something. But in the end, he realizes there's only really one way he can do this. So he looks around. Are there any rabbit holes here?
You know what? Let's go ahead and leave it up to luck again. Go ahead and roll me a 1d20, and we'll just do a 50-50.
Okay, come on.
So 1 through 10.
No. Okay. I was thinking he could kind of just, as he walks, just kind of grit his teeth, jam his foot in a rabbit hole, and deliberately.
So sad the
bust
DM
his
wants you
own
to roll
ankle.
low, and you roll a natural 20. That's just so
Yeah.
sad.
Okay. Hold on, because you actually didn't let me finish my sentence. I said 1 through 10, and then you rolled.
Ah,
I was going to say 11 through 20 is a success, because
Ooh.
that's usually what it is for the D20
okay.
game, with the exception
Cool.
of Paranoia, which does everything opposite. So you rolled a natural 20. So I'm going to say that not only is there a rabbit hole. Actually, you know what? I tell you what. I'm going to give you a little bit of a carte blanche here. There is some type of animal burrow nearby. Your choice.
yeah, that's great. So basically, he wanted a convenient hole. So what he's going to do is, he's going to, as he's walking back, he's going to be looking around, pretending he doesn't notice it, and then basically just stick his foot in it, grit his teeth, and then deliberately bust his own ankle.
Oh shit! That's awful. I like it, but I also like. I'm just like feeling it because I've bent my ankle like that so many times.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do a D6 for damage, and I'll roll it in front of everybody. Oh, well, it was a 3. You guys can't see.
Okay.
My bad. So yeah, you bust your ankle up pretty bad, and you fall to the ground.
Yeah.
With a-
Exactly. He falls to the ground and he's kind of yells in pain. And yeah, he's really kind of milking it. And can't, he's if they try and get him back up, he'll be yelling, but he deliberately busted it quite badly. So he's obviously not just faking it.
Yeah. The one that had escorted you and continues to escort you through this, you trip in this, bust your own ankle, and as you're like on the ground, he kind kind of like grabs you by the scruff of your neck, maybe where there's like some clothing, and just like pulls you up with one hand.
Walk.
Sabriel just yells in pain when he gets him up and just collapses again. And then lying on the ground and says, "This is what happens when you force people to walk with their hands tied. I couldn't catch myself."
Seems to me your training will begin a little bit early.
And he, not only has he kind of grabbed you by the scruff of your neck at this point, he has like picked you back up again by the scruff of your neck.
Walk.
Okay, and Sabriel will walk, but he's going to be limping slowly. And he's going to grit his teeth and wince with every step. And he's going to try and get the right balance between slow enough to be slowing them down, but fast enough that they're not just going to beat the hell out of him. So he's trying to look like he's trying to walk fast, but actually not making great progress. So there's going to be a lot of kind of up and down movement, but not much forward movement. He's going to be kind of moving fast, but taking not huge steps.
And he will actually...
swearing and wincing a lot.
Yeah. Routinely, he like picks you up by the scruff of your neck and keeps telling you, like, he'll like drag you back 10 steps and...
Walk. It is pain that purifies us. It is pain that will discipline you. Heard your sigh earlier. In fact, it reminds me of the sigh of a young boy, a shop that I met so long ago. Resigned to his fate. And you will be resigned to yours.
You really are one twisted bastard, aren't you? Says Sabriel as he's wincing along.
Yeah, and it'd be like rinse and repeat for an hour of just like you move 10 feet and he pulls you back. Go ahead and roll me a will save.
Yeah.
Since the training and the breaking has started.
Oh. Oh no! Oh no!
He broke the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, perhaps it's like, okay, so there is a... Okay. Yeah, you rolled a natural one, so sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are these Hellknights that are out, presumably looking for more. And he just looks at you.
I have nothing else to do, and this will be an excellent lesson for everyone else here.
And so he actually pulls you out to the center of the camp and does this process with you over and over and over again for several hours. You're yelping, you're hurting, like your ankle isn't getting any better, and so it just hurts worse and worse and worse and worse. And there is a little twinge of something in the back of your head. Perhaps it is the thought of giving in. Perhaps it is the thought of, I can make this end. That is up to you, my friend. But there is something in you that is breaking.
Yeah. Yeah. Sabriel goes from starts to take a sort of darker path. All this pain and just the relentlessness of this guy and his utter inability to phase him is starting to take Sabriel down a path of not kind of being determined to resist, but actually being, just starting to feel real hatred for this guy. And as he's getting picked up again and again, and his ankle's swelling up worse, and He just sees no end. He sees the despair in the eyes of the people around him. He just starts to swear at the guy, and he's got no sort of dignity, no composure left. It's just anger, and then it turns to just hatred, and he just finds himself imagining all these ways of killing the guy, and his thoughts start to go down a very dark path.
Yeah, I imagine that you're yelping and you're screaming and all of that. Like all these guys, all these peasants can hear. And this guy is unfazed by your swearing, by your cussing, by anything. Just repeating over and over and over again. And you can see just through being made an example of, the despair is really setting in to these people. As the sun begins to set and the darkness begins to set into the forest, as the camera zooms out with you going through this process over and over and over and over again. The morning eventually comes on Acisazi with the blasted rain that does not let up, and your party is ready to move. However, one small thing before you leave. Rigzin, in your room, as you are resting for the evening, as you wake up in the morning for the next day, you look about, imagine your eyes fluttering open, the fog of sleep still in your eyes as you rub them through, and on a chair in the corner of your room is the silver sword that you returned to Othel. Presumably everybody is in the tavern. Zypher, if you did say something, you may have been muted because I did not hear you.
Yeah, no, so I didn't say anything. So Rigzin sees the sword. Nods to it. Picks up all his bags and his axe. And he walks out of the room towards the main hall.
All right. All of you are in the main hall of the tavern. You are all set and ready to roll. How do you want to proceed?
To the Dismal Lich. Basically the direction where we got from Cedru.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
wake up bright and
You-
early, like strapped and ready to rock, man.
Okay. You wake up early in the morning, and as you make your way down the coastline, you see a small house in the distance on the cusp of the ocean. You're far enough away to where the rain at this point of Acisazi is abated. Are you still hugging the coastline so that you will pass by the house, or are you going inland and crossing the river? What's the plan?
Wait, what's this house?
There's a small house that just is on the coastline, all by itself.
Yeah, I think the plan is just to have hugged the coastline, just to keep our bearings as we explore.
Yeah, makes sense.
Excellent. Cool. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Nope, that is not what I was looking for. Lame. Well, okay. My apologies then, guys. We'll just go with it as it is. There we go. Now I know what to look for. Give me just 1 second, y'all. Bam.
Yeah, one of the things Madden's keeping his eye out for is signs of fire, campfires, whatever.
Yeah,
Smoke,
and you would definitely, you'd definitely see smoke coming from this small abode kind of on the way. As you're drawing closer, go ahead and give me a perception check. Everybody.
Nice roll.
Rigzin and Milo. In the distance, you see two figures in plate mail knocking on the entrance to this abode, yelling quite loudly. As you draw closer, you recognize that, especially Rigzin, plate mail from anywhere, as it appears to be two Hellknights pounding with all due force on this particular home.
What are they yelling?
They are yelling, "We need to search the premises. We have reliable information that there might be those who are here who should not be."
I feel like Milo, without saying a word, would reach out and touch Rigzin's new axe and cast a magic weapon on his new axe.
What does it look like? How far are we from these two people?
They are occupied enough with knocking at this particular door, and you guys are far enough, I would say at least maybe 100 yards or so away, which equates to about 300 feet.
I mean, that spell lasts for 1 minute, just 10 rounds, so... If we're close enough to get into combat within the next minute, that's what, that's what Milo's gonna do. It's just like, point straight ahead, just reach out and touch that axe and bless it, so it's magical.
Sure.
Rigzin would look at his party and tell them to, I think it's best if we spread out. Approach them from the back.
Aye. I'll take the center.
Corovel's looking a little bit concerned. He says, Two of them defeated you before. And you've lost your friend, now you have me. And Nasha, he said. He's got the snake kind of over his shoulders at the moment. He said, but from what you said, your friend was a wizard, so perhaps we only count as one. Feels like it
No,
will
we don't attack. No, you're getting me wrong. We spread out and creep closer and see what it is they're doing.
Ah, I see. When Milo blessed your weapon, I misunderstood. Very well. You can see, despite what Rigzin said, he's concerned. You think maybe he thinks that no matter what you've said, as soon as you get close to these guys, you won't be able to resist and you'll charge in. But he outwardly he nods. He nods.
And as you get done, as Rigzin gets done saying that, man draws out his great sword from his back. Yes, we observe.
Remember, we need at least one of them alive.
Well, that's what we left with last time when we lost. We can do it again.
Okay, so
Corovel frowns a little and then nods, and he walks towards if there's any bushes or anything like that. He walks that way and starts fanning it, spreading out the rest of them, and lets Nashar down to move through the undergrowth near him.
Sure, I feel like Milo, with the perception check, that I get the sense these guys have no idea to think to look behind them. Milo would just haul ass close to them and find a place to duck.
Man would move fast but sneakily.
You guys are 100 yards away, and they are clearly occupied on this particular door. The house is not large. In fact, it is a small shack that is close to the edge here. So it's not like there is it's not like a lot going on. So here's what I'm going to do to kind of help us. You're going to be off the map just because you guys are so far away. But we'll have to use our imaginations. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and share with you what's kind of going on here. Oops. You guys would be able to see. Going to go ahead and draw. I'm going to say you're able to get within 40 yards, which is 120 feet, which is where this goes without alerting anything. So if you push your tokens back, can you guys see off the map? Okay. So go ahead and put your tokens accordingly, how you would like for them to be. I'm going to push you back a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and say that at least... Oh, let me go ahead and take that permission off. You guys should be able to move accordingly however you want now. I'm going to go ahead and say at least 3 rounds of magic weapon is gone. So you have 7 rounds left, and we're going to go ahead and, just in the interests of helping this move, I'm going to go ahead and roll for initiative.
I think we're a little bit fanned out there, aren't we? So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, feel free to move your tokens where you would like, within reason. Like, okay, maybe that's not within reason, Matt.
A little unreasonable.
Yeah, a little unreasonable. I like the chutzpah. I like the chutzpah. That blue line will go ahead and just be the coastline extending out from there. It is a pretty clear line of sight, though. There's not like a ton to hide behind because it is so close to the shore. Not like a ton of trees and stuff. Let me double check and see if you all have rolled your initiative. We've got everybody: Milo, Rigzin, Corovel, needs Sim. And then we'll be good.
I don't think I've done mine.
And I am not rolling. They are in the initiative tracker, but I'm not rolling for them yet, just because I believe that you have not alerted them. As you draw closer, you do hear them yelling, "Let us in! It is our duty to bring these people back. Maybe you are that person. The law can be kind, or it can do its duty." Milo, you're currently the first to roll. So what are you doing?
Okay, at this range, I feel like Milo is going to, I guess, stealthily move along. Is that like a half speed? How does that work?
Yeah,
You can
you
roll it
could.
as such.
Yeah, roll it as such. If you so actually, yeah, roll stealth, and then you'll move at half speed. So that'd essentially be one move action if you're devoting your whole movement to moving. Just roll stealth. The closer you get, the higher the perception check will be. The
Gotcha.
DC of the perception check will be. Okay, yeah, you appear to not have gotten their hackles up. Go ahead and move 25 feet forward. Madden, you are up.
Yep, he'd be, I guess it'd be stealthy, casually walking.
Okay. If you're stealthily doing it,
Out for
move
a
at half
stroll.
speed and roll me a stealth check. Keep in mind you're pretty far out as of right now. Their backs are turned. They're clearly occupied. You actually do hear the voice of somebody in there. Yes, just hold on. We're getting things as ready as fast as we can. Madden, go ahead and move forward 25 feet. And Corovel.
Okay, he's going to attempt the same sort of thing. And he'd given Nasha instructions to go along the coast as well, so she'll be doing that too.
Sneaky snake.
Sneaky snake. So this is going to be stealth for me, or not that stealthy. Oh,
Damn. Damn, it feels good to be a kickster.
And then in theory, Nasha is a lot better, but we'll see.
Oh, Narsha is the knight. Narsha can move forward further if you'd like.
Yeah, definitely. So how far can she move?
If Narsha is in the water, I think I know that snakes can swim. Go ahead and move her 50 feet.
Okay. What's the thing for a ruler? I can't remember how it works.
It's left and right
left
click.
and right click. So,
I see.
she hides in the boat.
50. Yeah, just over here, I think. Oh, that's 55. Yeah, she's
While you're
under the
figuring that
boat.
out,
She's under the boat.
Perfect. Rigzin.
Yeah, Rigzin's going to do the same.
Okay. Rigzin.
Nice.
Yeah, you are like a panther. Like a plate mail clad panther. Okay, top of the turn order. Milo, you are up again. And actually, just in the interest of time, go ahead and move everybody another 10 feet forward. Because I forgot I was going off of Pathfinder 1E rules, which is movement and a standard action, and I forgot that you guys just have 3 whatever actions, so it's safe to assume you guys would be able to get a little bit farther up. Okay, Milo.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm just out of reach to do anything. Milo will. What will Milo do? Gosh,
It's like commandos.
the cantrips that I had prepared. Oh, it lasts for 1 hour. Interesting. Oh, it's only to perception, saving throws, or skills. Never mind. I'll just move. Again, stealthily. Allow me to roll for that. Good luck to me. Oh, yeah. It had to come eventually. A shitty roll.
This reminds me of a certain time on a beach.
Different beach.
Go ahead and roll me a. Go ahead and roll a perception check against that at a -5 because they are engaged and their backs are turned around. Oh, natural 20 on the
Of
perception
course.
check.
That kind of splash in the water, probably.
Yeah, so you are on the shoreline. You slip a little bit into the water. There's a bit of a splash, and these two both turn around and see all four of you stalking and getting close. Well, we have here. You folks looking for something? They have their hands on their weapons.
Okay, it was Milo's attempt to be sneaky, so I think I will step forward 5, 10, 15. It's like, I think it's 10 if I were trying to stealth. Yeah, Milo will say, we're just, wondering what you're doing out these ways.
Diplomacy check. Big nerd.
Alright.
And I mean that with all love.
Hey! I got diplomacy, baby.
We have business with this man right here.
Oh. What kind of business? Would Hellknights of Cheliax have to do here in these lands?
We have a contract we are fulfilling. It so happens that we need to speak to the one in this shack to fulfill it.
Milo kind of looks at his friends. Says, "Your contract wouldn't happen to have anything to do with slaves, would it?"
They both look at each other and look at you. Our contract is none of your business.
Well, you see, if it is to do with slavery, this simply cannot happen in the land of Ravenel. It's not permitted, you see, to enslave people who are safe in these lands. Milo takes another 5-foot step closer.
Sure.
Yeah,
this
could Nashar be traveling fairly freely because they're probably not noticing a snake with everything going on. A snake in the water.
Yeah, because she rolled a natural 20, and their attention is on them. I'll say that Narsha has a free reign within 20 until you get within 20 feet of them.
Oh, cool. So she's going to be over there.
This one sees little Milo, and he brings out this great maul, and just kind of like starts chuckling with an evilness that kind of hinting at the corner. I don't recall you being the law.
Oh, just a concerned citizen. Milo is super cocky right now. He shines his silver raven medallion on his cleric outfit.
Yeah, he takes another 5-foot step forward. Perhaps it be best as a concerned citizen that you take your concern elsewhere.
They see us standing there, right?
Yeah.
I am unaware the contracts of Cheliax have any power in Ravenel. Do you have a contract or a piece of papers that says you can enforce your contract in Ravenel?
He looks towards this person behind him, who takes a step forward, again, hand on a heavy mace of his. The two look at each other. Our contract is the lawful kingdom. We are fulfilling its laws. To fulfill that contract and that law, It has brought us here to find the lawbreakers of that law. So we will fulfill our contract accordingly to uphold the law.
But the law does not work in Ravenel. You're talking about Cheliax's laws. We don't care about Cheliax's laws. You are in Ravenel at this moment. So you have no legality to enforce anything here. I might go as far as saying that you are trespassing on these lands. Are you trespassing?
We are free people who are able to come and go. Is that not
Then-
the law?
You must go. For what I see is you are banging on the door of this simple house, and you seem to be threatening the inhabitants of this house.
And
So I say
Corovel
again,
at this point calls out, I believe it's called disturbing the peace.
Madden in the back with his greatsword on his shoulder. It is quite disturbing, and he'll look at the Hellknight. Are you at peace, Hellknight?
I find peace through obedience.
Good. Then perhaps you should listen to my friend and obey him and leave. Or perhaps, better yet, lay down your weapons and surrender.
We have broken no law.
But you have.
What law have we broken?
Your ugly mug is looking at me, and that is enough for me to kill you.
Okay.
It's like Corovel may have been onto something.
He grips this heavy maul. Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check, man. And Rigzin, go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check.
So,
Milo, go ahead.
Again, I gotta look at something.
Sure.
So this would go with my intimidating glare, right?
Sure.
With the mere glare, when you do the trait gains visual trait, you don't take a penalty if the creature doesn't understand your language. I don't know what that does, but that says that I get demoralized with the mere glare.
Sure. Yeah. And so roll intimidation, and
Okay.
if it's successful to demoralize, then he will indeed. Ooh, and that's man, a lot of good high rolls there. Okay. Sometimes it's easier to just check online as opposed to going through the book. Against the targets. Okay, so they roll will against your check. Natural 1. Holy shit. Okay, that's a critical success. Couple that in conjunction with these diplomacy checks. Let me go ahead and roll that as well. Okay. The diplomacy checks, they actually roll... we are following the law. Madden, you look at this man with your intimidating glare, and you see his fingers loosen on his grip. He's clad in plate mail, so it's difficult to see his face, but you've seen enough combatants to know that he's frightened. Maybe it's the flick of his fingers. Maybe it is something about him, but you have spooked him and his buddy.
Madden, seeing him loosen his weapon, he kind of tightens his up, knowing that he could be on him. And again, put the weapons at your feet and surrender.
They look at you. We would not dishonor our order in such a way. And they enter into initiative. Okay, good news. Both of these guys are frightened. And here is what frightened does. They take a status penalty equal to the value, which is frightened 2, to all of their checks and DCs.
Fun.
Hey.
Yes, so they
Does that
are.
include combat?
This concludes combat.
That would definitely include combat. So to hit,
Nice one, Matt.
and because it got in their head, let's see here. Frightened 2. Oh my. Let's just go ahead and keep it there. And I really like how you guys rankled them, especially utilizing the law to kind of undermine their position. So for all intents and purposes, I'm also going to modify some other things for this as well. But with that said, Madden, Rigzin, you know those looks anywhere. They're about to throw down, and you have the drop on them. Milo is the first to act. Ooh, let's go ahead and do this, actually. This will be fun. Milo. You see that they're about to attack. What do you do?
I activate my new feat, which is the reach metamagic spell. So that I might throw my divine lance extra far to the one who's closer to the door. As I shout, this minute here, find my spells. As soon as, I mean, we all kind of get a sense that they're like, they were spooked, but now they're ready to throw down. So Milo will just shout out, "For the sun and the fury!" and tosses that divine lance at the one in the back.
Go for it.
Combat. Summary. Actions.
Now, so here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to at least do one round.
Fair.
And see where it goes, because I know it's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. Fair enough?
Fair.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Cool.
Probably a miss.
That would normally be a miss with that person's AC, but with the roleplay work you guys put in beforehand, that's enough to bring it down to make it a hit. Go ahead and do your damage to the one in the back.
Golden light energy penetrates into that evil dude. Nice.
Okay, it flings into him. The lance impaling his shoulder. Defend yourself, brother! We have the right!
And that's all three
Madden.
actions. Yep.
All right. Let's see how. We'll go ahead and do our sudden charge to the closest one.
Go for it.
Try twice and melee. With the snarl on his face, he works towards the foe. Wait till you see what I do to your body when I'm done. There we go. Nothing.
That, unfortunately, is a miss. So, Madden, you get up into his face and you swing, and he's able to move out of the way just in time. You do have one action left.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wash it, rinse, and repeat.
Okay. Oh, it was like sliding on that 20. Did you see that?
Golly, yeah.
He dodges out of the way, using his gauntlet to kind of like push your sword and the strike. Corovel, you are up.
Okay. So the first thing that's going to happen is Nashar is going to go in and attack this person here.
Sure. Now, just so we're on the same page, it takes one of your actions to give Nasha essentially 2 actions.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you're
that's
using one to handle animal.
Yeah, sounds good. So Nashar will come in here and attack.
Okay. Let's go ahead and resolve Nasha first.
So let's do this.
I went ahead and targeted for you with Nasha.
Okay, thanks. I'm just working out how
You're
I
welcome.
do it. Don't think. Yes. Just trying to see how to roll it. I can't see the attack. Oh, there. I guess just a base melee attack, right?
Yeah, it should be Jaws for you, +7.
Oh, I didn't see that on the sheet.
It's on Nasha's sheet.
I don't see that on the. I'm looking at the combat tab. Is that right?
Yeah, the actions tab. You don't see it under weapons, Jaws.
Oh, actions tab. Sorry, I was looking at the weapons tab. There we go. Sorry.
You're good.
Oh yeah.
That is because of the effect. That's actually a critical hit because their AC is 16. It's +10. That is a critical hit. Go ahead and roll her Jaws attack twice
Excellent.
because it hasn't registered as a critical, but it should. So also go ahead and roll me a D100.
D100. Okay. Let me.
Right click on the D10, see the percentage.
Oh, right. Thank you. Sent. Thank you. Rolled it. It's 84, but I don't think it's come up. Let me try that again.
You gotta throw it
If
in
it
the
is-
chat.
Wait. You said 84? That's what the
Yeah.
first...
It was,
Yeah. Because that one didn't show up either, but I saw the die.
yeah.
Are you guys... Oh, there
I think
it
I
is.
missed the chat window. That was what it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I put it open on 2 monitors. And it's, quite a lot of
You're
drag.
good. Okay, so 51. Okay, so here's what happens. Nasha catches this guy unaware, especially because it just like snuck up on him, and it kind of like gets him right on his Achilles tendon, and like one of those like just pressure points, and his legs crumble underneath him as he goes prone and takes 2 times damage. So we've already done the damage, but he also fell prone as a result. For melee combatants, if you attack somebody in melee on the ground, they have a -4 to their or a -2 to their AC. They're considered flat-footed.
Now he's down there. Can I try and hit him with hydraulic push?
Sure. With that said, prone has pros and cons.
Oh,
Melee
hard.
attacks,
Right.
yeah, they're harder to hit when they're on the ground, unfortunately.
Okay, no, I'm going to do hydraulic push on the other one. So I think it might be a restricted range as well as 60 feet. Yeah, I can probably get it. But yes, I'm going to do hydraulic push. So I need to do an attack. Okay, 23.
Awesome. That will absolutely hit. And before you deal that damage to that particular person, I'm actually looking at the rules regarding prone. And you actually have to take an action while prone to get the bonus to ranged AC called Take Cover. He has not acted yet. So if you would like for that to be applied to the guy in the back, because I think
Yes.
that was your original, then you can.
Yeah. Great. I will do that, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me damage for that guy then. It's 3d6. Oh dang. Okay, cool. So yeah, he falls to the oh my gosh, Divine Lance just impaled on one shoulder. Snake comes up behind him. Snake gets his Achilles tendon and he crumple underneath him. And then all of a sudden there is just this. Let me say this, Corovel waves his hands in the air and water from the ocean comes out in a jet, and just it's a torrent of water that crushes him with his hydraulic push for 8 points of damage while he is on the ground. Okay, anything else, Corovel?
Yep, so Corovel's going to move. Oops, sorry. He's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 over here.
Okay. All right, it is his turn. He is going to take one action to stand up. And I turned him upside down. There we go. He took one action to stand up. He takes one action to unsheath his heavy mace, and he takes the other action to unsheath his shield, and he's going to stand right there. And that is his turn. Okay, Rigzin.
Rigzin is going to move here.
Nice flank.
And how do I know if I've targeted that Hellknight?
It should say it on your combat tracker.
Yeah, click on yourself first, and then control click on your target.
Yeah, whatever your control is.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Let me double check here really quick.
Yeah, flank bonus, right?
There is the flank bonus, which would essentially lower his AC by 2. And I had lowered his AC by an additional 1 from the roleplay, which will actually bring it to a 14. Not me messing around. You guys know I'll kill you. Go ahead, Rigzin.
Does that hit or does he save?
That does hit.
Okay.
Nice. They rolled your extra d12. Not great rolls.
9 points of damage to that dude. Okay, so yeah, you thwack him pretty good as you and Madden flank him. You have one action left.
Okay. Next attack. Same.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage. God. Alright, so you get him pretty good. Rigzin, not messing around, takes his great axe and slashes into this guy, utilizing Madden to help him out. Okay, so here's the thing about the frightened condition. It continues to go down every turn. So, with that said, their frightened condition goes to 1. Sorry. Their AC will be back to normal at the beginning of next turn, is all I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
But for an opening salvo, that's pretty good. Yeah, good job, Rigzin. Actually, Rigzin, we didn't add the +1 to your hit either. Unless you have that on there.
I'm not sure. It may have been included with my automatic.
It is. Magic weapon, it's attack 1. Yeah, it says that.
It is. Okay, so magic weapon actually came in handy. Okay, it is this guy's turn. He already had them all in his hands, and so he's not messing around. And he does not like the fact that Rigzin lit him up. So he's going to go ahead and attack him twice. Let's go ahead and deal the first attack on Rigzin if it hits. It is a 14 to hit. That will miss. Second attack, this will be at a -5. That is actually a total of a 5. What is your AC?
17.
I rolled a natural 2 on the die.
Wow.
That is a crit fail. Go ahead and roll me a D100. Or, yeah. No, I guess I rolled the D100. I was the one who failed the roll. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
1. 1 exactly.
That's awesome.
On my table, I have that as just a bad miss. So he just overstretches and misses you very badly, almost losing his maul. And so what he's going to do is he can do tactics too, and he's going to form up next to his buddy. His final action, 5, 10, 15, 20. Do either of you have the ability to... do either of you have attack of opportunity as a feat or a reaction, or no?
I don't have it.
Negative.
Okay. That is that guy's particular turn then. All right. It is top of round 2. These guys' frightened conditions all go down by 1. And the negatives that was imposed to their AC is gone. Okay. It is Milo's turn. You are up.
Milo will once again just whip his hands up in a frenzy, holding on to his holy symbol, and just throw another divine lance with the extend spell meta magic going. Nice.
That will hit, and
Not crit though.
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. Oops, I put fatigued on Milo. My bad,
Oh.
Milo. Milo all of a sudden gets tired out of nowhere.
Divine lances take it out of you.
Yeah, right? Just... There we go. Gosh darn it. I don't know why I'm being a derp. There we go. Okay, cool. So that will hit, but without the reduction to their AC anymore at the top of round 2. That is only 9 over, not 10 over, so that is not a critical hit.
Fair. So regular old damage. 6.
Okay, 6 points of damage to the Hellknight foot soldier. Man, you guys are really laying into him. All right, Milo, anything else?
That's it. That's 3 actions.
Okay, Madden, you are up.
All right. Now he's 30 feet away. The only way I can really get to him is by charging again, which I don't think I have a limit. Doesn't say.
Yeah, I think you can move and charge him. That's fine.
All right.
5, 10, 15, 20. I don't know why it said 30. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, you can get 2 hits in.
Was it only fit? What was it? Yeah, 20. Because the first one counts as 5, right? So it'd be 15. Actually, I could just move up and attack him, right?
Yeah, you could just move up and attack him. Effectively, that would work the same way. The sudden charge is really good if it's it'll be 2 movement actions that ends in a hit.
Yeah, it was showing me 30, so that's why I was like, oop, might have to do the second move, right?
Gotcha.
But with that down movement, and I think it's the diagonal. All right, cool. So in that case, we'll go ahead and attack. I think we'll, because I got what? That was 1 action, right?
Yes, you can hit twice.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in a rage. Because I was gonna use the action to go in a rage, but
That will hit. Go ahead and roll that damage. 9, that's a good roll. 13 points of damage on that guy. Yeah, you hit him pretty hard. They are actually not doing too well. You got a really strong salvo off in that first round, and sometimes that's all you need to help with momentum. Madden, you have a second attack left if you so choose. I didn't even
He
need to
so
ask.
chose.
22 to hit. Yeah, Madden, you weren't rolling good in that last fight,
Excellent.
but this fight, you are kicking ass.
Payback,
All right.
man.
Okay, this guy is beat up. Madden, you're a practice fighter. He looks very woozy on his feet. Not much left in him. Corovel.
Okay, so Corovel's going to do something similar again. So first of all, Nasha is going to attack. And this time I know where it is on the character sheet. And
22. That's a hit.
Nice.
good, nice. Yeah, that's another bite again. Not constricting at the moment. Ah, damage not so good. But helps.
Sorry. Nips him on that ankle again, and he yelps out in pain.
And then Corovel's going to move a little bit closer. Staying there, and is going to produce flame. So that is not a lot of damage, but it helps. Okay. 18.
That'll hit. That'll hit.
Hey.
7 points of damage to that guy. Yeah, they clearly not looking good either. Your onslaught has definitely done some significant damage to these guys. Give me just a second here. Okay. It's this guy's turn, and he is... that's kind of shitty of me. Okay. Man, who's it going to hit? He's going to go for that damn snake that caused him to fall down. Yeah, he's going to target Nasha. Oh, that's fun. I didn't know that was a thing. Sweet. He's going to go and try and crush that snake underneath his heel. Oh. Or his mace. Here comes the attack. That is a 21 to hit Nasha.
Oh, that hits.
And that will be for 7 points of damage on the first attack. He will bring his axe down again. This is at a -5, and that's a natural 1.
Wow.
Critical miss. Percentage die. That's a 53 on the table. That is going to be okay. So Nasha slips out of the way from the second attack, and he kind of like overextends in almost a comical fashion and falls down, chasing the snake as it kind of like swoops out of the way as he's laying down on the ground prone again.
Again. Get the one who caused you to be prone, and I'm prone.
Yeah. The chart I have on a natural one, 41 to 60 is knock target prone.
That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was
Probably
his second. Go ahead.
Probably ideal for Madden to finish him off.
Well, and with his
Rigzin.
third action, he tries to summon all the dignity 8 he has to stand back.
Oh, he's too done.
Stand.
Wait, did I do that wrong? What is that? No, it's not. Okay, that'll be fine. Rigzin, you're up.
Okay, Rigzin is going to move up. Sorry.
You're good.
How do I?
So are you hitting?
Target?
You are
I'm
currently
hitting the one
targeting.
that the one that Nasha, the one who hit Nasha.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and target it for you. Then you're good.
Okay, cool. And first attack.
That is a miss on the first attack. This great axe as he uses his shield to push it away. And as an immediate reaction, he raises his shield to increase his AC. Okay, that'll be a critical miss. After he raises his shield, that increases his AC. Go ahead and roll me a D100. Let's find out if something terrible happens to Rigzin.
Goodbye, Foot. I barely knew thee.
I see a 50.
Yeah,
but
give it a
don't see
second. I
the
think it's just lag. You give it a second. Yeah. Oh, weird.
59. Rigzin. The way that he hits his shield, it sends your weight into the end of the axe, making you fall down and go prone.
Dang.
A lot of falling down in this fight. One action was to move. Second action was to strike. You have one action left.
No, 2 actions. I did 2 attacks.
Yeah, he fell on the second attack.
And a move,
thank
though,
you.
right? A move and 2 attacks. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm moving to attacks. Rigzin, fallen prone before a Hellknight. You've been in this position before, and it has not been good.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, right. That will actually give you the flat-footed condition, which means you take a -2 to your AC. And this guy is not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, as he is going to target Rigzin with his maul. At your reduced AC, that is a 22 to hit Rigzin.
That hit.
That will hit for 7 points of damage as he brings the maul down on maybe like the pauldron on your shoulder. Goes back for a second attack. This is at a -5. Oh my god, I rolled a natural 2. That's going to be a total of a 4. Even flat-footed with a -2. Is that a crit fail?
Should be. With his armor.
Yes, 15.
15. Okay, that is a 45. Dude falls down.
Everyone's just laying down, playing Twister.
Yeah, pretty much. I need to decrease that value to like a 10 spot. That makes more sense. This is kind of fun. All right, so yeah, he falls down with his second attack, and with his third attack, he will spend it standing up, trying to look dignified, just like his friend before him. Okay, guys, it is 12:30. I don't want to go too terribly late, and I also don't want to tip my hand too much. But you got these guys seriously on the ropes. I would suggest very good chance you kill them this round if we keep going.
Oh yeah, I think we're all down to keep going.
I don't want to spoil things, but also I don't want when we're so close.
Yeah, Milo's gonna chuck another divine lance. Say, you should have left when you had the chance. He chucks another lance. Yeah, baby.
That is a critical hit. Go ahead and roll damage, and roll me a D100. 71. Finally, something not in the 60s range. Okay, so here is what happens. Which one did you target? The one
on top.
Okay. So this is the guy actually with his shield up. Okay, so actually that's not a critical hit because his shield up and his AC is higher.
Fair.
So it'll just be regular damage. So I'll actually have to have this.
Take away the 2.
Take away the 2
Take away 6
and the 4, 6.
Yeah.
That's 5. He had 4 hit points left. Your divine lance goes through the slit in his helm, impaling him. You can see the lance like sticking out of the backside of his helmet as he falls to his knees and then falls down dead.
Awesome. And that's it for old Milo.
Madden, 1 left.
Alright. Man is gonna go ahead and attack.
Go for it. That will miss.
We'll do it again.
Go for it.
Yeah!
Natural 20.
That's an auto crit, right?
Yeah. Roll your damage.
All right.
And roll your 100.
All right. So one thing to keep in mind, Madden is going to keep him alive. So whatever comes of it, he's going to soften his blow enough.
I can always stabilize them.
Okay. You're gonna have to really describe to me. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to really describe to me how you're keeping him alive because still is 28 points of damage, but he literally only had 1 hit point left.
He would take one of his health. CPR.
So Milo has the stabilize cantrip as well.
Yeah. So as he falls, as man, gives into his bloodlust and sees blood spraying and this guy drops, he will realize what he did and look over at Milo.
Oops.
Keep him alive, both of them if you can.
You didn't make it easy.
And he'll, yeah. So
Okay, if Corovel sees Milo using stabilize, he'll use it on the other one.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and drop us out of initiative. Rigzin, okay, so a couple things are going to happen. First off, Milo and Corovel, you go over to them and immediately stabilize them to keep them from dying. They're currently just at 0 hit points and they are unconscious. You can do what you would like with them. That's step 1. Step 2, Rigzin, as you come to your feet, you would specifically recognize these guys as perhaps they have some type of emblem, almost like how if you go to military or the army and on their uniforms they have insignias on the side indicating their rank, right? Mm-hmm. You would see that these guys are essentially initiates.
Okay.
Corovel's going to quickly do some healing if he can.
Absolutely.
So he's going to first of all heal Rigzin.
And while he's healing Mother Stabilize, he doesn't want nobody to heal him yet.
Yeah, I'm not healing them yet. I'm healing Rigzin.
Yeah.
So Rigzin will get 13.
Uh,
Sorry.
Targeted the foot shoulder, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize I still had it targeted.
the foot soldier comes back and slays
terrible
everyone.
healer.
Too late. Rigzin. Yeah, go ahead and take that. I guess you're all topped off then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Madden is going to strip these guys and tie them up. But he wants to find something to tie them up to so they're dangling by their hands.
Gotcha. Okay.
Could we do that next session? It's already 11.
Yeah. Let's. Why don't you guys each tell me like one final thing that your characters are doing, and that's how we'll end it.
So yeah, Madden is stripping the Hellknights to keep their armor in somewhat good condition, and he's tying the knights to a tree or pulley or whatever is around, so they're dangling off their feet.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll say you're actually able to use the bow of this house, like the edge of this house right here. You throw a rope over and are able to hang up at least one. You have to come up with something by the next time we play for the second one. But that's what Madden's doing. What's Corovel doing?
Corovel, darn it. I targeted Nashar, but I also still had the Hellknight foot soldier. I'm doing heal animal on Nashar. So healing her wounds. Sorry about that.
Sure. Okay, so you're healing up Nashar. Riggs and Milo, anything you guys are doing to give us a final shot at what's going on here?
Yeah, I feel like Milo is scooping up the innards of the one that Madden crit at the end and being like, they're hard to stabilize when you spill their guts. He's just scooping them up like a bunch of hot dogs that fell out of the bag.
Cool.
Rigzin is stripping them of their armor, bringing them down to their skivvies, both of them.
Gotcha. So we see the party taking care of these guys as they are stripping them, doing whatever you can to take care of them so that they cannot defend themselves, putting them in a position of hostage, prisoner, maybe something in between. All of you as well feel an inner resolve strengthen inside of you as you all level up.
I knew it.
We'll all figure out what that looks like more next week. But we'll that's how we'll go.
Hey.
So cool. We'll end our session there. And just a heads up, guys, we're actually playing next Thursday on the 3rd. So I know we got kind of a quick turnaround this week. If you need help leveling your character, get a hold of me. Rigzin especially, because I know that you're probably going to take something in a class other than Paladin.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that this week. And if you guys have any questions, just hit me up.
Awesome. Could you just leave the server up for a bit tonight? Oh, let me say good night. We're done with the recording, right?
Yeah. Good night, everybody.